Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is now 5 o'clock p.m. and we will call this meeting to order. Let's do a quick sound check. Can everybody hear me okay? Yes. All right. Thank you very much. We'll call this meeting to order. At this time, we're going to have a roll call, starting with District 1.
Keith Love. I'm sorry.
District 1 is not here. Yeah. He'll be in a second. Go ahead, Keith Love.
Keith Love, District 2.
Thelma Bowie, Commissioner at Large.
Dedrick Johnson, Mayor.
Abel Garza, Commissioner at Large.
Chris Sharp, District 3.
Jamie Clark, District 4.
All right. Let the record reflect that a quorum has been established. We do have six of the 7 commission members present. Actually, we have 7 of the 7 commission members present. Commissioner DeAndre Knoxon. Let the record reflect that he is here. This time we have the invocation, and today for the invocation we have Pastor Matthew Brockman of Peace Lutheran Church. We're thankful for you to be here today and help us with the invocation, after which we will have the pledges of allegiance. Commissioner Bowie will lead us in both pledges. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner.
And we pray. Blessed are you, O Lord, our God, King of the universe, for you cause the sun to rise and set on the just and the unjust, the believer and the unbeliever. We ask, O Lord, that you would continue to watch over and provide for your people gathered in Texas City. We give you thanks for the mayor and city commissioners. We ask that you would bless them in fulfilling their responsibilities. As we're talking about some police information today, O Lord, we ask that you would be with and bless all of the men and women in blue, that you would keep them safe in their occupation, that you would grant them courage, and that they would continue to serve you and watch over your people. And we give you thanks for all of the other city employees who help keep things running smoothly here in our great city. We ask for your blessing, and we give thanks for your blessing. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right. Thank you very much. Pastor Brockman, if you have any announcements you would like to share with the city about anything going on at your church, let us know.
Well, we do have an evangelism workshop this Saturday from 8:30 to 4, and some good food associated with that. But I do have to warn everybody, if you do come to that, Holy Spirit might turn you into a Lutheran. Then we have, of course, Lent and Easter coming up. We're looking forward to celebrating the new life and resurrection of our Lord and Savior. But I'll admit I have to ask a little bit of a question. Can we put in requests for the new building? Because these nice cushy seats are a lot better than those wooden church pews that we had.
Well, I think we're going to have something much better than the wooden pews. I promise you that. Thank you so much, Mr. Brockman. All right. At this time, we have a few reports that are going to be a part of today's meeting. We're going to begin with a crime statistics report, and we're going to swap those two out. We have a racial profiling report for the calendar year 2025 and a crime statistics report. We'll hear from our police chief, Mr. Landis Cravens. And like I said, we're going to switch the order. Let's do the crime statistics first. Is that okay? I think that's how we have it loaded.
Okay, Mayor, Commissioners, this presentation provides a data-driven overview of our crime statistics specific to our community here in Texas City, and it covers the calendar year of 2025 using standardized and national reporting methods. The goal for this report is to provide for transparency, accountability, and helping us in making informed decision-making in the way that we deploy our personnel as well as assets in in combating crime. Basically, this report provides a snapshot of criminal activity and trends in our city. The data presented and was collected throughout the calendar year of 2025 and reported through the National Incident-Based Reporting System, which we call NIBRS for short. This system captures detailed information on each report, crime report, and is nationwide to ensure consistency and accuracy. In short, our crime data is collected using a nationally standardized and audited reporting system. This slide shows total reported crimes over a 4-year period, allowing us to identify long-term trends rather than focusing on 1 year in isolation. This broader view helps place 2025 data in proper context. As you can see, last year we saw a decrease in reportable crimes, equaling 704 fewer reported crimes. Reportable crimes into the National Incident-Based Reporting System includes one of 9 categories: not homicides, sexual assaults, sex offenses, robberies, aggravated assaults, burglaries, both residential as well as commercial, burglaries from motor vehicles, and all other larceny. Larceny is just a fancy word for thefts. That category includes frauds, forgeries, your ID thefts, and shoplifting. In 2025, the Texas City Police Department responded to 59,324 calls for service. These calls included criminal incidents, traffic-related calls, and various requests for assistance from our citizens. It should be noted that not all calls into the department requires a crime report. Just a brief takeaway, calls for service reflects the overall demand for police services, not just crimes. As we review the slide, the vast majority of our calls for service was citizen-driven, meaning that a citizen called for help, called us for some kind of assistance. That represents 63%. The rest was officer-initiated, and that means that our officers were proactive in doing their jobs. That represented 37%. This slide highlights the total numbers of crimes reported for 2025. It distinguishes reported criminal activities from our total calls for service, providing a clear picture of actual crime activity. Just a takeaway, reported crimes represents only a portion of our overall police activities. As you can see from this slide, non-aggravated assaults accounts for the majority of our reportable crimes at 34%. All other, which is your larcenies, frauds, forgeries, ID theft, and shoplifting, came in at 31%, followed by burglaries at 13%, burglaries from motor vehicles at 8%, aggravated assaults, 5%, sexual assaults or sex offense at 4%, theft of motor vehicles, 4%, robberies, 1%, and homicides came in at less than 1%. This chart compares violent crime totals across 4 years. Monitoring these trends helps the department evaluate our enforcement strategies and identify areas that may require additional resources or our attention. In other words, tracking violent crime trends helps guide our public safety planning. In 2024 versus 2025 comparisons, homicides stayed at 3, robberies decreased by 3, sexual assaults decreased by 2, aggravated assaults decreased by 21 reportings. This slide shows the total number of homicides covering a 4-year span. In 2022, we had 5 homicides in which 4 were cleared by the arrest of the offender, and 1 is still active, and we're going to need our community input for solvability. In 2023, we had 6 homicides in which 5 were cleared by the arrest of the offender, and 1 remains active, and we're going to need our public's help for solvability. In 2024, we had 3 homicides. 1 was cleared by the arrest of the offender, 1 was cleared by the death of the offender killed themselves, and 1 was exceptionally cleared by the death of the offender. The offender killed their domestic partner and then killed themselves in an incident of murder-suicide. In 2025, we had deja vu. We had 3 homicides. 1 was cleared by the arrest of the offender, 1 was cleared by the death of the offender, and 1 was exceptionally cleared by the death of the offender in an incident of murder-suicide. This slide shows our robbery trends over multiple years. Robberies involves force or the threat of force, and is closely monitored as an incident of public safety concerns for both our commercial as well as residential areas. In comparison for 2024 versus 2025, we saw a small reduction in reported robberies by 3 reportings. Reported sexual assault data is shown here over a 4-year period. Reporting levels may reflect both the crime occurrences and our community's willingness to report these types of crimes. This is why we work very closely with Outreach Victims Assistance Office at the Galveston County District Attorney's Office. In comparing 2024 versus 2025 reportings, we saw a slight reduction in sexual assaults. Assault offenses, and this includes both aggravated as well as simple assaults, represents a significant portion of violent crimes we report on. This bar graph shows a 4-year comparison, and we saw a reduction of 216 reportings in the 2025 compared to 2024 reportings. Burglary trends are shown here to highlight the unlawful entries into residents and businesses in our community. They're also helpful in helping us to form our property crime prevention strategies. As you can see, we had an increase in 65 reportings. This tells us that we need to make some fresh public service announcements targeting at helping our residents, educating our residents on ways that they can target harden their residents and businesses. This slide focuses on thefts from motor vehicles, which are often opportunity-driven crimes. Public awareness and preventive measures play a key role in reducing these types of offenses. As you can see, our community did an outstanding job in targeting hardening our vehicles. We saw a decrease in these types of crimes of 129 reportings. This category includes thefts, frauds, identity theft, and shoplifting. These offenses represent a large portion of overall crime reporting and are often influenced by economic as well as technological factors. Again, our community did an excellent job in protecting their property and assets. In a comparison of 2024 versus 2025 reportings, we saw a reduction in this crime of 396 reportings. This bar graph represents a 4-year span of reported motor vehicle thefts in our community. Again, great job, Texas City. in targeting hardening our vehicles. In 2025, we saw a reduction in motor vehicle thefts by 23. In summary, I want to thank our community as well as the men and women of the Texas City Police Department in making our city a great place to live, to work, and to play. In 2025, crime data reflects meaningful stabilizations and reductions across several offensive categories. We do not see this without working with our communities, our civic groups, and our business partners for for measurable differences. Any questions?
Thank you, Chief. Commissioners, do any of us have any questions of Chief Cravens regarding this report? I do want to add, it's not a question, but I do want to add, as you've shown us, that according to this incident reporting system, crime in Texas City has reduced across most categories. There was one, I believe, where it did increase, but the basic message and the important message that we want to send the citizens of Texas City is that you do not live in an unsafe city. Whatever challenges the city or the police department may be facing, it has not resulted in an increase or a detriment in statistics for the city. So we appreciate the work that the men and women of Texas City Police Department are doing. I heard you mention something about educating the public about stabilizing their properties and vehicles and things like that. That also always helps. And I can't move on without mentioning some of the technology that we have used that has probably helped in the reduction of crime. Things like the flock cameras that we have ingress and egress to our city. They serve as deterrents because they were bearing fruit in helping us capture people as soon as we install those. So criminals do their research too. And they know where they can and cannot commit crimes. And Texas City is just not one of those places. Thanks, sir.
Okay, next we'll have our racial profiling report. This presentation covers the Texas City Police Department's 2025 Racial Profiling Report. This report is required by state law and is intended to provide for transparency to our community, to our elected officials, and to the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement, which is our state governing body. The goal here is to clearly show how our traffic stops are conducted in Texas City and to ensure that it's based on lawful behavior, not race or ethnicity. All data presented in this report was compiled by the Texas City Police Department Record Management System. It covers activity from January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2025. This information has already been reported to the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement. Also, a small portion of this presentation includes information from the U.S. Census covering our population estimates from July of 2024 to provide a demographics context. This slide shows the most recent U.S. Census population estimates available, which places Texas City's population at 57,875 as of 2024. The racial and ethnic breakdown is shown here. We should also note that the 2025 population estimates have not been released yet, but according to census.gov, our population, we should see a population growth of approximately 59,091. In 2025, officers conducted a total of 19,286 traffic stops compared to 14,581 stops in 2024. This reflects an increase of about 32%. This slide also shows the breakdown of stops by gender for 2024 and 2025. Ladies in the audience, here's your receipts. Women are better drivers than men. This slide shows the race and ethnicities of individuals stopped in 2025. The totals displayed for white, black, Hispanic or Latino, Asian, and Indian individuals. These figures represents the number of stops by category, not the outcome or reasons for our stops. This slide shows whether the officer knew the race or ethnicity of the driver prior to initiating a stop. We had 19,017 stops where the race or ethnicity was not known beforehand, and 269 stops where the race or ethnicity was known prior to the stop. In most of our stops, the race or ethnicity of the driver is not known. This slide breaks down the reason for the stops were conducted. The categories shown are violation of law, pre-existing knowledge, moving traffic violations, and vehicle traffic violations. Most of our stops fall under moving and vehicle traffic violations. This slide shows where traffic stops occurred. Most stops took place on city streets. Additional locations include private property, private roads, county roads, U.S. highways, and other locations. The data reflects where enforcement actions occurred within our city. This slide shows whether a search was conducted during the traffic stop. Searches were conducted in 1,656 of our stops. In 17,630 stops, no search was conducted. Most of our traffic stops does not end with a search of the vehicle. This slide displays the racial and ethnic breakdown of searches conducted during our traffic stops. The totals shown are for Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, and Indian individuals. This slide shows the legal reason for our searches to be conducted. The category includes consent, contraband in plain view, probable cause, inventory, and incident to arrest. As you can see, probable cause and consent account for the largest portions of our searches. This slide shows where the contraband was discovered during our searches. Contraband was found in 556 searches, and 1,100 searches, no contraband was discovered. So roughly 1 out of every 3 search that we do yields contraband. This slide provides a breakdown of the types of contraband discovered. Categories includes drugs, weapons, alcohol, stolen vehicles, other items, and currency. Drugs was the most common type of contraband found. This slide shows the racial and ethnic background of instances where contraband was discovered. Totals are shown for Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, and Indian individuals. This slide shows the outcomes of our traffic stops. Outcomes includes verbal warnings, written warnings, citations, written warning and arrest, citation and arrest, and arrest. Most of our stops results in a written warning or citation. In 2025, there was 1,529 total arrests off our traffic stops. This slide shows the arrests by category, including violations of penal code, traffic law violations, city ordinance violations, and outstanding warrants. Outstanding warrants account for the largest amount of arrests during our traffic stops. This slide shows arrests broken down by race and ethnicity. The categories displayed are Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, and Indian individuals. This slide shows whether physical force was used during our traffic stops. Physical force was used in 40 of our traffic stops. No physical force was used in 19,246 stops. Most of our traffic stops does not end in a use of force incident. And we had 0 complaints alleging racial or bias-based profiling for the calendar year of 2025. Any questions?
Commissioners, anybody have any questions of Chief Cravens?
Chief, I do. For the description of contraband, it says other. What does that include?
It could be like the fruit of a crime, burglary tools, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Thank you for that report. Appreciate it. Very detailed, very informative, and so we appreciate that. We get that annual report both on crime stats and racial profiling in the city of Texas City. Next, we do have a report from our finance department. We will hear from our Chief Financial Officer, Ms. Cynthia Rushing, as she gives us our quarterly investment report.
More numbers. So I'll make it brief. Every quarter, we present you with the investment quarterly report. Today, we're going to present the first quarter of FY26. That would consist of, first quarter is October, November, and December. I didn't get training on this, so I think I'm gonna be okay. Just hit this arrow. Oh, towards you? Okay, can you push it? Okay, thank you. Does it come up clear? Oh, it's kind of fuzzy, guys, but, all right, so what this is showing you is the portfolio summary. And so in this chart, it's showing, it's a modern version of it. It's showing you the comparison between the last quarter, which is fourth quarter FY25, compared to the current quarter that ended in December 31st, 2025. So this is fourth quarter of FY25 compared to first quarter FY26. So it's showing us what our par value was, which is pretty much on par, about the same, and our original cost, the book value, the market value. But what's most important here is looking at what our market value is. So it's at the end of the first quarter, FY26, it's $195,964,000. The activity in the first quarter of FY26 consisted of us transferring $2.5 million from our money market account in the Texas First Bank to our operating account in the Texas First Bank. In the first quarter of FY26, we earned interest of $1.9 million. The majority of our investment is in money market. So if we go to the next slide, It's going to be a breakdown of what the income summary consists of. And so because the majority of our funds are in a money market, it's 1.9 million is what you see from October 1st to December 31st, 2025. So our net income that we've earned in the first quarter of FY26 is the 1.9 million. If we move on to the next slide, this is just showing our asset allocation. So as I said before, that the majority of our funds, our investment is in the money market. And then we've actually started moving things to the T-bill. So when you look at the comparison of fourth quarter FY25, you see that it's in bank deposits and what you call overnight, which is really money markets. And then when we look at the comparison to first quarter FY26, there's a little sliver there which represents 1% of our investment, which is in T-bills, U.S. government. If we move to the next slide, this is just giving more detail as to the security holdings that we're in. We have a portion of our funds in Texas First in our money market account. We have a large portion, 180 million, in the pool, the Texas Star pool, which is also similar to a money market. It earns a little bit more in interest, and you can see the yield at the very end. You may not able to see it clearly, but it's slightly less. The Texas First yield is slightly less than what we're getting at the Texas Star pool. And then we are in the T-bill. So if we move to the next slide, this is just a graph showing what the yield curve is, and so that's what our benchmark is, and that's going to be the 6-month yield. CMI, and so you see the blue, and so we've actually come up and met, kind of converged, and then now due to the rate cuts that the Federal Reserve is making, we're starting to see a dip in the interest rates. So with that happening, we're looking to implement a protection strategy to protect the interest that we've earned over the good times. And so we're prepared to be able to maintain that. And so at this time, we have our financial consultant advisor from Hilltop Securities, Scott McIntyre, and he's going to come and talk to us about what the strategy is and what's going on in the market. So, Scott?
Thank you, Ms. Rushing. Mayor, members of the council. I'm Scott McIntyre. I'm with Hilltop Securities, and we started working with the city about 6 months ago. I've been here before in the pews in the last venue that you guys had. One of the reasons that this is actually a really interesting graph, because one of the first things that we did was Ms. Rushing and I and my staff had opened up pool accounts, which again are like money market accounts, which allowed you to earn quite a bit more on your liquid funds. And then an account was set up, a safekeeping account to hold securities, but by the time that was set up, the market really wasn't very conducive. The bird in hand was such an attractive bird in hand, as it were, that the decision was made to earn as much as possible up to this point. The Fed has cut 3 times, and right now the curve is flat. In other words, what can be earned in overnights can actually be earned out a year and out 2 years. So what we've discussed is the idea of taking some money that is currently liquid and moving a portion of that out along the curve, so out into 9 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, to basically lock in and hedge against the idea that yields could fall. And which transitions fairly well into the whole economic thought. I've been in this business for a long time as a bean counter in accounting, moved my way up. And I will tell you, I've never seen anything quite like this from an economic standpoint. Depending on what station you're listening to, it's either an economy that's doing really, really well or an economy that's not doing well, a job market that's really doing well or a job market that's not. And I think that really depends on where you stand in society, to be honest with you. There is a real have not. There's a real K-shaped recovery. AI looks like it's going to be more disruptive to jobs than anybody thought that it could be. And although a lot of people do not believe that the Fed should cut in 2026, I think the president is screaming, cut, cut, which is one of the reasons that we want to take some of these liquid dollars and position them out on the curve so that the city's protected. So as much of the income that has been earned continues to be earned. So the idea of during the last 3-month period earning, 1.9 million is real money. And although we don't think that the Fed will cut to 1%, we think that it's possible that they cut to 2.5%. And to the extent that we can lock in 360, I think it makes sense to do that. So as Ms. Rushing had said, this is a hedging strategy. This is a protection strategy. No one makes bets in this business. What we'd be looking at purchasing primarily would be U.S. Treasuries, full faith and credit, and probably not going out too far. But I think this portfolio is going to look different the next quarterly meeting. You should see a bigger divide in terms of allocations. But, as far as the economy goes, again, I don't feel like it's as strong as it appears to be. And I think that the Fed is going to ultimately cut rates because they're going to see a labor market that doesn't look as strong as some of the numbers appear to be. And brace yourself, it's probably going to be a really rocky year in terms of everything from what you hear politically to what the economy does to inflation and all the other indicators. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. McIntyre. Commissioner, you have any questions? You have top securities? Thank you for that explanation. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys.
Ms. Rushing? No questions for me? Any questions of Ms. Rushing? No. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. That concludes the reports that we were supposed to receive. We'll move on to agenda item 5A, where we will consider and take action on a request for an extension of time to preliminary zoning approval for Willowwood subdivision to change from District A, single-family residential, to District I, planned unit development. We'll hear from our engineer and planner, Ms. Kim Golden.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Commissioners. I see if that map right there is, there we go. So this is the Willowwood subdivision. It has already been through the rezoning process to take it from the District A to the District I planned unit development. That was done over a year ago. You all approved this preliminary zoning change back in January of 2025, and they have not yet been able to pull a building permit, which is the step to take to make it a final or permanent rezoning. So the ordinance does provide for them to come in and ask for an extension of time on the preliminary zoning approval. We have taken it to the planning board this week, and the planning board reviewed it, staff reviewed it. There have been no significant changes in the area that would warrant a relook or not extending it, and so the recommendation is coming to you both from staff and the planning board to approve this extension of 12 months. It is a 213 new lots on 80 acres. As you'll see there, it's located south of the Emmett F. Lowry Expressway and on either side of Willow Street. And I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Golden. Commissioners, any questions on this agenda item?
I move to approve the request for extension of time.
Second.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Clark to approve this preliminary zoning approval, actually the extension of time to this zoning approval. Seconded by Commissioner Bowie. All those in favor state by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. We're up to the public comments. At this time, I have not received any requests to address the commission, so we will move on to the consent agenda. Commissioners, you have before you consent agenda items 7A through G for your consideration. If you would like any of those pulled for further discussion, you may do so at this time. If not, what's your pleasure?
Motion to approve consent agenda items A through G.
I second it.
A motion has been made by Commissioner Bowie to approve agenda items, consent agenda items A through G. Been seconded by Commissioner Clark. Any further discussion? All those in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Agenda item 8A, we're up to our regular items. We will consider action on ordinance number 2026-01, amending the fiscal year 2025-2026 budget to replace items of theft and prevent recurrence at the city emergency backup water well site. We'll hear from Mr. Jack Harrelson, Public Works, about this incident.
Thank you, Mayor. Back in March, I believe we told everybody, but just to remind, we had a water well that's off of 2004 between 1764 and Highway 3 that was heavily vandalized. It was damaged to the point where they took all of the permanent power and then removed all the backup power. Side note is Chief and his team found the people who did it. They tracked it all down. So let's add that one. That's one of the solved ones his guys did. So they really did a good job to find them. Nevertheless, it caused quite a bit of damage. It took us a while. This happened in October. It took us quite a while to get all the dollars together because we could temporarily get the thing going if we needed to. We don't typically run off of water wells, but if we happen to lose pressure and need it, that's what those are for. So we waited till we could get the best pricing. Crescent Electric is a local electrical contractor that works with us quite a bit. So they finally got us the numbers. We were able to get it in front of our finance team, and $380,000 is what that, now that gives us a little bit of wiggle room. Hopefully we don't have to spend all of that. But it's coming out of the enterprise fund balance. So it doesn't come out of our general fund, but that's how much we're going to need to replace and restore the power and temporary power, as well as it gives us enough money because that's kind of a remote location. To get a beefed up, we worked with emergency management to get a beefed up security system, surveillance system out there to make sure this doesn't happen again. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Jack. Commissioners, anybody have any questions? Mr. Harrelson?
Motion to approve, Mayor.
Second.
Thank you. A motion has been made to approve agenda item 8A by Commissioner Garza, seconded by Commissioner Knotson. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Jack. And again, kudos to Texas City Police Department for helping bring that situation to a close by arresting those responsible for that vandalism. We are now up to commissioners' comments. We'll begin with Commissioner Knox.
Today we had a great day. We enjoyed Texas City High School Youth and Government. I was shadowed by Miss Mia, a two-time Youth and Government student who was going to go pursue her education at Texas A&M. Oh. Check, 1, 2. All right, so yeah, we had Youth and Government today. I was accompanied by Mia. She's going to pursue her education at Texas A&M to become a teacher. She enjoyed it today, learning about the ins and outs of what it takes to run our city. George has been doing this since they were in diapers, I think, and I was in high school. I think he can do a blindfold. He can just smell what part of the city he's in and tell them what's going on. But just a great day. I enjoy Youth and Government. That's what kind of sparked my interest into our local government. So just a great activity that the kids get to learn about what we do. So thank you.
Commissioner Keith Love.
No comment.
Mayor Pro Tem Elma Bowie.
No comment.
Commissioner Garza. No comment. Commissioner Sharp.
No comment.
Commissioner Clark.
Well, I'm going to have to say something. I just want to say, I want to echo what Commissioner Knoxon said. It was a great day today with those students. It really renews your faith in our young people and stuff. We had a great group of people, and thank you, George. I know it's a lot of planning and all the department heads that do everything and all of y'all. So great day. It's one of my favorite programs. So thanks to everybody that worked hard and our students. It was an amazing day. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. One of the comments I have is I want to say thank you to all of the staff that worked together to transition us from our former city hall to have the meetings here in this Doyle Center, and so that we can continue our city operations on a seamless effort. It takes a lot of behind-the-scenes work to present what you see before you, transition this room into an open space event center, into what we call our commission chambers now. We met a couple of weeks ago to do some test runs so that the citizens of Texas City could still partake in these videos and provide the screens for our commission, as well as the projector screen for you, the viewing audience. There's a lot of work that went on behind the scenes, and I want to thank our IT department for making sure all of these mics are working and these screens are working without a hitch. Shout out to our communications department, who is still back there recording and making sure our citizens are able to see how we conduct our business, as well as our recreation and tourism department to facilitate this entire setup. A lot went on behind the scenes, and it is an example of how Texas City works together to get the job done for our residents. So let's give each and every one of you a round of applause for that. This facility or the neighboring facility in the Wings of Heritage Room will be where we will have the majority of all of our commission meetings until further notice. And so we want to thank you. We want to let you know that they will still be posted in City Hall South, where we are currently operating out of, as well as the newspaper postings and all other legal requirements that we have. So with that being said, I want to ask anybody in the city staff, our department heads, or our other employees, if you have any announcements, please make your way to the podium at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners. I think it's appropriate when individuals should be recognized, that they are recognized, and we have some great staff here with the City of Texas City. I'd like to recognize Ramari Lee, our City Secretary. Just last month, she was asked to make presentations at the annual Texas Municipal Clerks Association conference and did an outstanding job because of her expertise in the field. So congratulations to Ramari Lee. And then I think a lot of people here know that there's one person, there's more than one, but there's one person that I call the fixer. Whenever anything needs to be done, he gets it done. He's behind the scenes. You hear the commissioners talk about different things that happened today for Youth and Government Day. Well, the one person that isn't up front, but is there making sure that everything is taken care of, everything from assistance with the setup today to commission meetings, every event that takes place in the city he's involved in. And just recently, the Rotary Club of Texas City presented the Non-Rotarian Vocational Service Award to George Fuller. George, let's give him a round of applause.
John, before you take your seat, I want you to come on up here, Mr. Branson. Before you take your seat, there's one more recognition that we forgot, and you might be able to help me with this. But it's a department you oversee, and I tell people all the time, your library is not better than our library. So Mr. Branson is going to tell us about an award our public library just received.
So just recently, the Moore Memorial Library received an achievement award from their municipal branch of Library Association. And this is a very prestigious award. Cheryl, what's the name of the award? It's essentially, excellence in libraries, and this was recognized by the state association. So congratulations to Cheryl and the many great things that their library does.
I didn't tell John I was going to do this, so I'm sorry, I should have got the correct title. And this, I believe, may have been 2 in the last month or so. Our library is doing great, always getting awards, and we appreciate them for the services they offer to our community. Any other announcements from staff? All right.
Motion to adjourn.
Again, we thank you. We have a motion to adjourn. This meeting is adjourned.
Sign, sir.
Thank you, sir.